So here we go, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast, which is proudly sponsored by John Fowler Solicitors. Big up Mod Kennedy as ever for his support. I'm joined as ever by my co-host and Town Women skipper, Blue Wilson, the returning Blue Wilson. 100% week for the Track the Girls. 3 wins, 3 clean sheets, plenty of goals. And as I said, the returning Blue Wilson. Blue, how are you? What a week it's been for the girls. 3 wins. You're back. Take it away.
You know what? It's been a full-on week. It got to Sunday evening and I was knackered. Absolutely knackered. So yeah, a great win overall for the team, and then obviously made my long-awaited comeback yesterday, which we'll talk more about later. But yes, very pleased. Lots of relief, both for getting those 9 points, but also personally finally ending the 18-month wait. I can't believe it's been that long, to be honest. I haven't been counting the months, but after I came on, I was like, yeah, it has been a long time. It's time to accept it. So yeah, all in all, good. Yeah, really good. Enjoyed her game 2 weekend. That added a nice touch to it. Obviously, a few of us went to the men's game against Burton on the Saturday. We all sat in the director's box, and I managed to interview Maddie Reader, who's the club's ambassador, at half time, which was a new experience. So that was a little bit scary, being broadcasted to 25,000 people. In my head, I was like, most of these lot are getting a pint, so they're not listening to me. So, you know. But yeah, it's been good. What about you, Ross?
Yeah, as you said, it's been a busy week. I had a rare Saturday off. I didn't actually go to the men's game, but yeah, good win for the men. And yeah, it was great to see her game 2 weekend being celebrated, and yeah, great to see pictures of some of the players, yourself in director's box, and you interviewing Maddie as well. Great job all round. And yeah, I didn't mention in the intro, Blue, we're second in the league now.
Go on.
There we go. And it's all to play for now. We are hunting the, of course, Oxford, who are top of the table, but yeah, second in the league, and a great weekend all round. Both teams winning, and as you mentioned, your return. We're gonna talk about it more in depth in a bit, but we've got 2 games to get through. So a little tease there before we get into Blue's mind of her return and the emotions of it, what Joe said, and all that sort of stuff. But let's jump right into Billericay then, Blue. A rare 3-game week, midweek game under lights at Felixstowe. Before we get into the game, last time we had a game under lights, it was a goalless draw in the cold. I didn't go to that game, but it's just great to actually have a game under lights again.
Yeah, you'll be glad you missed that one, I think. But anyway, we've won under the lights here, and I love it. I know you don't like it because the photos and it's not the right lighting and whatever. But I think everyone enjoys it. It's a different atmosphere playing. And often as you grow up, sort of, I don't know, up until sort of under 16s, you're playing, you're training in the evenings. So it's almost like it feels like you're going back. I don't know, but I really enjoy it, and the fans were good as per usual. Drums out, which really added. But it was a tough game. Took a lot of grit, but we managed to get through it.
Yeah, indeed. And I think there's one stage I was like, because I think last time we had a game under lights where they had the drum, I think the neighbours next door were sort of complained, but I think we were pretty good with the drumming in terms of making sure it wasn't too loud, but also brought the atmosphere up. And as you said, a game under lights just brings that different atmosphere. And yeah, it was just a great atmosphere. And of course, the game itself, Billericay are a team that we know very much well. We know them really much well, and yeah. A lot of grit, a lot of good game management. We got a penalty in the first half, Blue. Freya Godfrey stepping up because we didn't have Lucy O'Brien on the pitch. Who else normally takes penalties on the pitch?
Bonnie
on the pitch. Bonnie, yeah. But Freya Godfrey, a young player from Arsenal, stepping up and scoring.
Yeah, she was calm. Never in doubt. I think Joe, he said after the penalty, he was concerned by the run-up that she was going to Panenka the ball. And I was like, that would take some serious courage to do that. But she slotted it. EK obviously won the pen. A little push in the back, and the ref's given it. So, yeah, it was good. It was good to get that goal. And then we looked comfortable throughout. I don't think there was there was a time where we weren't in control really. Obviously, there's spells where Billericay had the ball, but I was never really concerned. So yeah, comfortable, to be honest, similar to Watford, where we controlled the game again. And yeah, it's another 1-0, but it's a win at the end of the day. And these 1-0ers actually, I think they do more than they add a bit of confidence, because you can, as a team, you can see out a game at 1-0. We don't need to get 2 or 3. It gives us that confidence. Whereas before, I'm not sure we had that. So we've got 2 on the back of that, where actually we know we can do it. We know we can see games out, and I think that's really important going into the last 6.
Yeah, because there's always that cliche when say Billericay, they could have been there all night and they wouldn't have scored, but they were very close to scoring. A last gasp chance.
That one, yes.
Just sort of went flew right into the box, and I was like, oh my god! But luckily it didn't. On another day, Blue, we've seen that teams have somehow scored an absolute, like Watford when we were at their place, to just outside the box and scored. But as you said, the last few weeks, because of the win against Watford 1-0, this game, just good game management, good defending. But on another night, another day, that could have gone in. Yeah,
and perhaps a little bit of luck. It's about time.
Yes,
I think. But that chance, my heart did drop at that moment. I was like, this just wouldn't be fair. But don't get me wrong, I like winning 1-0, but if we can win 2 or 3-0, us on the bench, our hearts are in a lot better place. Palpitations are a lot less. I think Joe would sleep better at night. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and hopefully, we're looking to score more than 1. But something we're working on, and in the meantime, if we can still win games, then we'll take that.
Yeah, as you said, it was just another comfortable win. I was never worried that we weren't going to win the game. Just that last chance, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. But overall, 1-0, 3 points, clean sheet, happy days. Then moving on to Sunday as part of the Her game too.
Ross, before we move on, it was Charlie's last game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Charlie Baxter. You could be listening to this if you're not. Why are you listening, Charlie? But yeah, his final game, and I'm sure he was probably happy. I know he did an interview with Kieran for the club, just sort of say his goodbyes, and he was part of that huddle as well. Is there anything, you're of course part of that huddle, Blue, is anything that he said that you can say outside the huddle?
I'm trying to think. Well, normally actually in these huddles, and we used to sort of just gather around, but we started sort of linking arms, which is quite nice in the past week or so. And usually Joe is the one who leads it, and then Charlie backs up. But actually Joe just went straight away. Okay, Charlie, it's your turn, which was a really nice touch, I think. And he was a bit surprised. He was like, I'm not prepared for this. But yeah, he said some really kind words, and obviously wished us well, and sort of detailed how much belief he's got in us and how much we've grown over the past sort of couple of years that he's been here. And he's got no doubts in his mind of where we should be and what we're capable of. So that was really nice to hear. And we obviously wished him well at Loughborough Lightning and his future jobs, and hope we cross paths soon. So yeah, it's sad, but I'm glad he had a win to sort of send off.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what I like about just football in general, most of the time you do, keep in touch with, staff members, former teammates. And I know we're still in contact with, say, Paige Shorten and Kevin De Kaiser. Good old Kev. He was there Sunday. Good old Kevin. I'm sure he's listened to this. Hi, Kev. But yeah, just like staff members like that, you just always sort of keep in touch. And I'm sure we'll keep in touch with Charlie. He will follow our journey. We'll follow his. And yeah, it was just a rare midweek game. Luckily, he had that game to sort of end with a win. And I can't speak, Blue. What was it like, Blue, and the players having that midweek game? I think you had Thursday maybe off, or recovery, and then Friday. I'm sure players are just, I'm knackered now, but got to get ready for Sunday.
I think we actually enjoy it more as players, because you want to play games. So there's a few of us who I obviously didn't play Wednesday. And there's a few others who didn't get a lot of minutes, and we asked Joe if we could have a session on Thursday because it was meant to be off. But we had a really good little session on Thursday, intense actually. But I think players do feel it, because it takes, although you love a game, it does mentally take it out of you more than training does, for sure. So there's that mental aspect, and obviously it's a slight diversion to your normal weekly plan. And everyone knows that habit, as humans, we like habit, and it's easy to get into like a rhythm. And obviously a midweek game sort of chucks it out. So it takes a bit of time to adjust, but I think we've done that well. And I think it helped that Plymouth, although a good opposition, weren't quite as of the quality of either Watford or Billericay. So we dealt with it well, and I think everyone's happy Sunday afternoon, evening, especially with the Liverpool United result.
Yeah, that was incredible. 7-0. But yeah, the Plymouth game, and you're a Liverpool fan, so I'm sure, you're very happy.
Very happy.
Unreal weekend for you in terms of Sunday returning and then your team putting 7 against rivals Man United. So, yeah, sorry, any Man United fans, because we've got a few Man United fans in the
squad. We've got
we?
a lot in the squad. And you know what? They were giving me so much stick on Sunday. Yeah. So much stick. And I was like, you wait. And there we go. I mean, I was a little bit fearful because we aren't great at the minute, but I don't know. Turned it around,
didn't they? Yeah, turned up Anfield. Boom. Nunez scoring a few, and then unbelievable. But then we were unbelievable as well. Comfortable win against Plymouth. Important to back up the 2 wins early in the week, of course. Plymouth, a long travel for them. We've done that already. They've got to do it as well. I think they stayed in Southend.
They did, yeah. I spoke to the manager and I was like, you stayed in Southend. Why?
All places. It's like,
I
don't know, but yeah, because when we go to Plymouth, we stay in Plymouth because you got to. It's a lovely part of the world. We've had these conversations loads of times. Like maybe when we retire, we'll move down there and stuff like that. But a long way to go. But let's talk about the first half. Blue, 2 goals from Anna Gray, now double figures for goals. She's also got, I think, 7 assists as well, or something like that. So she's having a very good season. But let's talk about her 2 goals. Her first one was a very good goal. Second one was a good team goal with linking up with Freya.
Yeah, both good goals. First one individually, she showed what she's capable of. She's very, very good with the ball, and she's also got pace. So once she's on it, you can't catch her. And what's been good this season is that there's been quality behind that. Although I think we could have probably got a few in the first half if we want to be really clinical. But I thought she played really well with Freya. The link-up was good. Obviously, Freya coming in for Tash, who needed a little bit of a rest. I'm sure she didn't want a rest, but it's good to have sort of healthy rotation. I think Freya did a really good job, actually. Had a great game. So, yeah, you're sort of looking at chances we should be putting away, but at the end of the day, we're comfortable. It's just getting that goal difference up, which could be key come the end of the season.
Okay, we're back after a brief interruption, but we're here, Blue, to talk about Freya's goal to make it 3-0 in the second half, and a goal that I like to see us score more of. Plymouth failing, clear from a corner, and there was Freya Godfrey, clinical, boom into the box, goal.
Yeah, proper striker's reaction. I like those type of goals as well. Although we can play pretty football, and we showed that. We actually, I think against Plymouth, we had a tendency of overplaying it, when actually we could have got a shot off or something like that, or a cross or whatever. But we've been working combination play quite a lot in training, and we just want to do it. But yeah, it's a good finish from Freya, and she's got there first and put it in the back of the net, so can't really complain about that one.
Definitely. And before we get on to the return of Blue Wilson, I want to let's mention some of the players this week who have been the standouts. It's been a great team performance all round for 0-1 on Sunday, on Wednesday, and then Sunday again. But I think Megan Waring needs another shout out again. Another really solid week. 3 clean sheets, so the back line have been superb anyway. Sarah in goal, she had to make a very good save in the Plymouth game as well. But another good week for her.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should definitely shout out the defensive unit, because although we're praising those for scoring goals, actually we've 3 clean sheets, which is really good, especially against sort of 2 opposition who are tough. So yeah, Sarah, great as usual, especially with her new fans chanting behind her. And then Boz, Summer's been really good. Laugh, solid as usual, and then Megan, she's up for player of the month for me, for sure. Yeah. Really good performances. No nonsense. and getting better at sort of playing between the lines on the ball. So yeah, really exciting for the future, I think, especially as she's so young.
Definitely. Well, Blue, let's get right into it then. You're on the bench for the first time. Let's talk about that first of all. What was that like? You're going to be on the bench warming up. You've done a bit of warming up before in a few games, but this is the first time you're going to be in the squad. You may come on at any point. What was that like warming up and just being on the bench, coming out, seeing the players come out, your teammates, sitting on the bench, knowing you're one of the numbers ready to come on? What was that like?
It's strange because I've been, as Joe said in some interviews, I've been available physically for probably a week now or so. But Joe was keen on me earning my place, and I'm absolutely good with that. I think that's how it should be, especially with the squad depth we've got now. But it was a weird feeling because I was given a travel tracksuit, which I hadn't had before, and then obviously putting the kit on, wearing shin pads, just strange experience. I actually had to go out and buy some new shin pads because I had no idea where my other ones have gone. That's how long it's been. I've lost my other shin pads. Yeah. So new shin pads on, and then obviously going out on the pitch. And I thought I'd be a bit more nervous, but I'd sort of played it through in my mind quite a bit. So I felt that there was a bit of anticipation and the adrenaline was definitely going. But I think that helps you through it. And I just tried to calm the nerves. Because at that point, I didn't know whether I was going to come on or not. It wasn't set. There wasn't a plan. Joe said if the game saw fit, I would come on, but I might not. Yeah. So it's having that debate in your head where you're sat on the bench thinking this could be my return game or it might not be. Luckily, I did get on, but I enjoyed the day. The nerves didn't get the better of me. It wasn't too pressurized, although it was a high pressure moment. I managed to sort of, I don't know, just tunnel. I was just tunnel vision. That was it. And yeah, it obviously resulted with me coming on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, Ross. It was good.
Well, let's sorry to interrupt. Let's talk about the just knowing, because there's a few times I looked up, and went, okay, Blues, she's now unstripped. All the bibs and everything. You got your kit ready to go on, and you're speaking to Joe, but then I think we had an offside. Then there was another moment. I think Boz was limping at one stage. So yeah, what was going on there? And then the minute did happen.
So what happened before that? So Tash and Brazero had got subbed on.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes after that, probably 10 minutes after that, Joe then said, "Blue, go and warm up." And at that moment, I was like, I couldn't stop smiling. I tried to hold it in and be, professional and serious and like, this is just another day. But it wasn't really. So I was smiling, obviously went and warmed up, and then came back, tried not to rush the warm up because I was just so keen to get on. Came back and then was ready to come on, and then the ball wouldn't go out. And then when the ball did go out, Boz was limping. So Joe was just like, "Oh, just hold on a sec." I was like, "Please, no. Don't let me get stripped out of my kit, ready to go on, and then you have to make another substitution, which isn't me." Yeah. Imagine just So I was like, that obviously went through my head, and I was like, "Oh, please, Boz, be okay. Please, Boz, be okay." And she was, and then finally got me on. But it was a bit of a wait. I was like,
it's cold as well. Cold yesterday. It was cold. At the Gold Star, or AJL Arena. Oh god.
Yes, the AJL Arena.
Yes.
I said to the bench actually just before I came on, I was like, I had envisaged this moment to be in a warmer temperature. It's bloody freezing.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously ran onto the pitch, and I think Regan got some really good footage of like me getting ready, warming up, and then obviously the first few steps on the pitch, and that's really nice to watch back because you don't fully take it in once you're in it because there's so much going on and you've got to focus on the game. So you tell yourself that you want to take it in, but you don't. So it's nice to watch that back and also hear the fans and the crowd. And so yeah, I've watched that back a few times now. But yeah, a good moment. And although it wasn't for that long, it was just important for me to get the first one done I felt like there was quite a lot of pressure on that first one because it's always been, when are you back? When are you back? And it's been such a long time. So I wasn't really bothered about how many minutes or the performance to an extent. I was just, the goal in mind was to get some minutes on a football pitch in a match and prove that I can come back from injury. When actually for many of the months that's been a doubt. So yeah, a good moment, and then after a lot of relief. So yeah, a good day all around, Ross.
Indeed, yeah, the reception you got was great, and yeah, there's a few people behind me saying, "I've never seen Blue play before," so it's great to see, to see actually what she's like as a player.
True. Yeah. It's true. A lot of the new fans, and even Connor Bennett from the BBC, he'd never seen me play, and still hasn't to an extent because I only played for sort of 5 to 10 minutes. But a lot of the new fans wouldn't have seen me because it's been that long. So I'm like a new signing basically, if I can get up to speed.
Yeah, the good old cliche, like a new signing. And let's talk about some of the moments in the game. As you said, it was only 5-10 minutes, but you took a corner, had a few touches on the ball.
It wasn't a good corner, Ross. I was hoping you wouldn't mention that one.
Sorry,
I didn't think I was. As we went through the set pieces, I definitely wasn't corner taker. But Laff was like, "You're taking them." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I mean, I didn't hit side netting, but I did hit the front post. So. Yeah, not great, but we'll be working on that one.
Yeah, one thing I think I said after the game is that you've got similar style of like Sam Morty with your arms. So yeah, just like
it's just a weird running style, basically.
I was going to say weird, but yeah, you just got that. Yeah, it's very same as Sam Morty, the skipper for the men's team, and on the women's team.
I'll take it. He's a decent player, isn't he?
Very good player. Very good player. But yeah, Blue. Overall, though, a great week, 3 wins, and it's next step for us now. We've got the run in, yourself, stepping up to the next level in terms of playing more minutes. But what was it like having that first little feeling of the ball, and Bonnie giving you the armband, and I'm sure you had a little chats to your teammates during the match. It was only later on the game was done and dusted at that point, but you still need to make sure to get this job done.
Yeah, definitely. They had sort of glimpses of chances, and we were leaving ourselves a bit open at the back after we were going for more goals, but it just needs settling, and it's difficult, especially in midfield, to come on as a sub. I think I spoke to all of the midfielders, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't like coming on as a sub as a midfielder because it's difficult to get into the game." But it's more about giving people a boost, especially the forwards who have been pressing all game. So if you can give them a boost. And sort of keep the ball and just tick the time over until the game's up. If there's chances, there's chances. But yeah, quite a difficult role actually. But yeah, I mean, I'd take any minutes. And obviously going forward, looking to get more minutes. But our midfield has been unbelievable this season. I think Kyra and EK in particular having the seasons probably of their life, and then Bonnie's consistent as ever. So it's really difficult, and we've got sort of 6 games which are all high pressure games. So I'll be doing whatever I can, whether that's minutes on the pitch or whether it's from the bench or wherever, to just try and push them and be as competitive as possible, because it's only going to help them and help each other. So I think we're in a good place. And yeah, just looking forward to 6 games remaining. It's not many.
Yeah, not many at all. It's gone so quickly. And as you said, 18 months since your last time you played. A lot's happened in the world since then. A lot's happened at the club since then. It'd be great to do a timeline of different events in the world. Some not great events, of course, but just even football events. We've had the World Cup. We've had the women's Lionesses. They've won a major trophy. So many different players have come and gone. But yeah, what 18 months. And have you spoke to Pescott since? I'm sure you straight away after the game, maybe because she was on the pitch at the time. Was she on the pitch?
Yes, she was. I was really happy about that. I was hoping that she'd be on the pitch at the same time I was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a little moment at the end, and then she sent me a text after the game. But yeah, I think we both are very proud of each other because we're the only ones really who sort of get what each other have been through. There's obviously Sophia in the 21s and Leonie Telford who's going through the same thing. But it's just a different, you understand what each other have gone through and how big the moment is and how much work it's taken. So yeah, we had a very nice moment and a big hug, but yeah, I think everyone was happy and I got some really nice words. So yeah, good times. It was worth it. And I think I'll probably feel that more as I start to play a few more minutes and start to feel a bit more normal, and I just get back to being me.
Definitely. And as you said, now a box checked. Onto the next big 6 games, starting off with London Bees. But before we get into that, Blue, this Wednesday, the 8th of March, is International Women's Day. We've had a great Her Game dedicated weekend with the men's game, the women's game, some great different events. But I wanted to ask you a few questions, Blue, about just International Women's Day in a whole. Which women in your life inspire you?
Oh, a difficult question. Definitely my mum. I've also got 2 sisters, so I'll probably have to mention them. They might be listening. Actually, I know they're not listening because I tell them to listen and they don't. They're lost, siblings. In my opinion. They're lost. Yeah. And then, I work at work, definitely. I've got colleagues, bosses who are women. And they're a bit older than me, which I think is a good influence. But I'd say, those main few. And then you've obviously got people who are not necessarily close to. So more like, actually, this is a good one. There's a girl called Keely Hodgkinson. Don't know if you know her. She's
a runner.
She's a runner. Yeah. So I watched her over the weekend, actually. And she's unbelievable. Same age as me. But it's just setting records after records after records. I think she's pretty cool. And then obviously you've got the whole Lionesses team, because I'm in football. I sort of see them and think they're pretty inspirational, and they're driving women's football at the minute. But there's loads, and I think people have influence that you don't necessarily consciously realise, but they do. Whether that's close to you or whether that's in the media. And it's happening more and more now that the digital age is here, compared to when it wasn't, when Twitter and Instagram weren't as active. So yeah, I think we'll go with that. I'm going to throw that back at you, Ross. Who's your biggest influence, would you say, in your life?
Blue Wilson, of course. Blue Wilson.
Yeah, there we go. That's the answer.
Of course. But yeah, like the standards. Yeah, my mum. Love my mum. I'm a big, mummy's boy. Always been a mummy's boy. But yeah, my mum. My sister as well. Even though we have our moments as siblings do, as you said, your sisters. But I think I've inspired by her. She's got three kids, and my niece. Seeing her grow up. I've got 2 nieces. Sorry, some other niece. But the oldest niece is playing football now, which is great. And there's just so many different people, even close friends. So yeah, you can name everyone if you want to, but yeah, you sort of the one who inspire you. It just generally said the Lionesses. I've always enjoyed watching women's football. I've been covering women's football now for 6-7 years, and just seeing the progression of it has been incredible. Seeing the great crowd, 500 plus on Sunday. Hope that continues to grow. We've got the great memberships and everything like that. So yeah, big up International Women's Day. And Blue, what's it been like, for you since you've been at the club? You joined, a few years ago now. A lot's happened, but a lot's changed as well. For you, what's the biggest change since you've been coaching-wise, facility-wise, kit-wise? I know, back in the day there was not much kit about. Not the facilities weren't great, but it's proving every time. Of course, still work to do. A lot of work still to do. But that's just going to continue to grow, hopefully. Yeah,
it's progressively got better and better, and there's little things like food after training and training times and use of pitches, which are all the small stuff which adds up to a bigger picture where actually you just feel more included and you feel like a wanted part of the football club more so than before. Does that make sense? There's more integration with the main club. And that I don't think that feeling of being sort of part of the main football club and being included and feeling like you're not just an add-on, I don't think that should be underestimated, because it does have an impact on us, and how we're sort of feeling coming into training and how we are around the training ground, or how we turn up against in Felixstowe. And I think that's really changed, and you don't sort of notice until you look back and see where it's come from. And I mean, I remember asking Amanda Crump similar questions back to when she first started playing for Ipswich and how it is now, and she was just like, it's insane. The progression is insane. And obviously I think it's sped up a lot recently, especially in the past 18 months. I think partly thanks to the new owners coming in and sort of having a refresh, and the whole club sort of having a refresh, and Mark Ashton and his crew coming in, and Gary Probert. But yeah, all in all, I think I'm hoping it's the start, and I hope it continues, because it has a great effect on us, and also the community of younger boys and girls, to inspire them and to provide a pathway and opportunities for them to get involved in sport or be inspired by that. I don't think you can really sort of quantify the impact that has. So I see it as good. Football's done a lot for me in broader life, and I just hope people have that same opportunity that I have.
Yeah, one thing is great is more exposure now, more media, even just games on TV. Ground selling out. We know it's for the West Ham game that got sold out. We're getting more and more crowds. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's great. And one thing I didn't mention, Blue, in the woman who inspired me, of course, I got to mention my girlfriend.
There we go. You're in the doghouse there, Ross.
Yeah, thankfully she probably doesn't listen to this. She's got no interest in football. But so yeah, if you inspire me. Thank you. Could be in a doghouse there. But yeah, let's move on to London Bees. 10th in the league, 2-1 win against them in Jan, and they impressed me, Blue, in terms I was surprised how sort of good they were in terms of, of course their physical side, but they really held us to us for a while. Of course, we got the goals when we needed to, but since then they've been beaten 5-1 at home to Oxford and 4-1 at home to Pompey in February. They are struggling down there in the bottom of the table, but thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it was a bit squeaky last time. I know there's lots of dramas with sim bins, but we won't go into much detail. But again, they're towards the bottom of the league, but did have a really good performance against us. So cannot be underestimated. Similar approach to Plymouth. Although the table suggests we should be beating them, we have to earn that right, and we have to play well and create chances and then convert them. So I think it will be interesting, because last time we obviously won 2-1, but it was tight, and that was on an Astro pitch, which probably benefited us better, because we like to play. And so back on the AJ Arena, slightly different surface, so it'll be interesting to see how that changes things. But I have no doubt in our quality and the players we have in starting 11, but also on the bench. We should perform, and we should get those 3 points. But yeah, we shouldn't go into it thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a win," because I don't think we've gone into a game like that in a while, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And as we mentioned, Blue, 6 big games to go. Of course, starting off with London Bees at LG Arena at 2 p.m. kickoff. Then we've got a away trip to Crawley Wasps, and a away trip to Gillingham. Then the Oxford game in April is going to be big. And then, of course, got a away trip to MK Dons. And then we end the season with Cheltenham. What's your thoughts quickly on that, and any skipper's speech to the fans to come down and support, and put me on the spot there? But what's your key words you would sort of say going into these ones?
I mean, I'm pushed towards the classic one game at a time, of course. But you can't avoid the standout game, which is Oxford at home. That's a huge game, but we won't be thinking about that until we get there. because it's meaningless if we don't win the next few again before the Oxford game. So the importance depends on our performances leading up to that. So yeah, 6 games left. We've got a few home ones, which is great. And yeah, the support over the past, I don't know, it's 3-4 weeks, ever since Watford away really, has just upped to a different level. And it's funny because it's coincided with better performances from us and better results. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe the drum and the supporters, and we had a great crowd on Sunday, which I think was perhaps because of her game 2 sort of advertisement and extra push. But if we can continue that, it's proven that better results come of that. So yeah, final 6 to get us over the line. So please, if you're thinking about it, come have a look, give it a go. It's a good Sunday afternoon, and if you get bored, there's always a sweet shop there. Yeah. The sweet shop is great, by the way. Great sweets, great selection. But yeah, we need you. We need you as much as we do need all the players in our squad and the coaching staff, and we need you to be at your best so that we can be at our best. So yeah, please come along. It's a great environment, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you there.
Couldn't say it even better, Blue. I could not even say it better than that. That is fantastic, Blue. And so there we go. Another pod in the books, Blue. Any other business, any other notes we need to mention? Just again, a big shout out to the supporters group for doing the drumming and just bringing in the fans. And 505 at the AJ Arena. Hopefully we can add more to that going into the final big games of the season. But yeah, any other business?
I don't think so, no, Ross.
Okay, then. Well, I'll let you take it away. The returning Blue Wilson. What a perfect week. 3 wins, 3 clean sheets, 2nd in the league. Bring it on.